Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, two names that elicit strong reactions. One, a real estate mogul turned reality TV star turned leader of the free world. The other, a former KGB agent who climbed the ranks of Russian politics. What could these two possibly have in common? Beneath those exteriors lies a surprisingly similar set of tactics and ideologies. Today, we dive into the 10 shocking similarities between Trump and Putin. First up, strongman leadership. Both Trump and Putin have cultivated images as ultimate alpha males, the tough guys who won't back down. Trump with his "you're fired" catchphrase and Twitter battles, and Putin with his shirtless horseback riding and military interventions. This strongman persona allows them to silence dissent and demonize opponents. It's a tale as old as authoritarianism. Next up, nationalism. Trump tapped into this with his America First rhetoric, promising jobs and walls. Putin peddles a resurgent Russia, reclaiming its world stage place. Both demonize immigrants, stoke fears, and paint themselves as protectors. It's a tactic as subtle as a sledgehammer, yet effective. The anti-establishment playbook. Trump, a billionaire, and Putin, a former KGB agent, positioned themselves as anti-establishment figures. Trump railed against the swamp of Washington, D.C., promising to drain it. Putin presented himself as a defender of traditional values against the West. They tapped into people's frustrations with the status quo. Fake news and state media controlling the narrative. Trump and Putin are masters of media manipulation. Trump's cries of fake news undermine legitimate journalism. Putin controls Russian media through state-owned outlets. Different methods, same goal: control the narrative and shape public opinion. The Teflon Don and the Tsar, the art of political survival. Despite scandals, both men have managed to cling to power. Trump maintained a fiercely loyal base throughout his term. Putin has been in power for over 2 decades, dismantling opposition. They use a mix of populism, propaganda, and authoritarianism to stay in power. Promises, the Populist Playbook. Both men rose to power by appealing to the anxieties and frustrations of everyday people. They promised to restore their countries to a mythical former glory. They spoke directly to the fears and resentments of their base. People overlooked inconsistencies and lies for a promise of a better future. Let's talk foreign policy. Trump, with his America First agenda, alienated allies and started trade wars. Putin uses military force to achieve his goals. Both leaders disdain international institutions and believe might makes right. Their approach to foreign policy has reshaped global dynamics. Let's talk about self-promotion. Trump and Putin have larger-than-life personas. Trump, with his TV background, knew the power of spectacle. Putin has a more masculine, action hero image. In mass media, image is everything, and they've played their parts perfectly. Trump and Putin deeply distrust traditional Western alliances. Trump often questioned NATO's value. He preferred bilateral ties with autocratic leaders. Putin sees NATO as a threat and seeks to weaken it. Both leaders exploit Western divisions for their agendas. And finally, we come to their legacies. Both Trump and Putin will leave behind complicated and controversial legacies. Their supporters view them as strong leaders who stood up for their country's interests. Critics see them as demagogues who eroded democratic norms and stoked divisions. Only time will tell how history will judge these two men. So there you have it. 10 surprising similarities between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. Two men from different worlds, united by shared tactics and ideologies. Maybe these similarities reveal something deeper about power in the 21st century. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.